Trading, the Market Academy, the home of sports trading.
Hi, I'm Mark, and this video is from the Trading and Market Academy, the home of sports trading. In this video, we're going to look at different betting odds. Knowing how to understand and calculate odds is something that anyone who's placing bets should take the time to learn. The odds reflect your selection's chance of winning in the eyes of the bookmaker and how much money you stand to win if your wager is successful. Although betting odds can look confusing at first, this video will give you the knowledge of how they work so you can make a more informed choice when gambling online. What are betting odds? Betting odds are compiled by the bookmaker as a way to represent what they believe the likelihood of an event or events happening. These odds are usually represented as either a fraction, 2 to 1, a decimal, 3.0, which is used in the UK and around Europe. There's also the money line or the American way, which is where a number has a plus or minus in front of it, plus 200. Betting odds are applied to any event that the bookmakers are taking bets on, from horse racing and football to TV specials and politics. What is probability? Probability is simply how likely something is to happen. So if a bookmaker has an outcome to an event with a high probability, then it's more likely to happen than not. If the event is deemed to have a low probability, then it's less likely to happen than not. Probability is most commonly shown as fractions by UK bookmakers and would be two numbers separated by a forward slash. So, for example, 1/2. A very simple explanation of probability would be a coin toss, in which two possible outcomes are heads or tails. The probability to gain heads is 1 in 2 chance, which can be represented as odds of 1-1 or 1/1, which would mean that the outcome has a 50-50% chance of winning. This is how punters can use betting odds to work out how likely the bookmakers believe an outcome is to happen. How to calculate probability from betting odds. Now you know the odds are set out with two numbers separated by a forward slash. You can use them to work out the probability of an event happening. The method for calculating probability, in percentage terms, from odds is most easily explained by taking two numbers that appear in the odds and replacing them with letters. So for the example of 2 to 1 becomes A/B. The calculation for probability is the percentage equals B divided by A plus B. Here are some examples of betting odds converted into percentage to find out the probability. So 10 to 1 can be calculated as 1 divided by 10 plus 1, which equals 0.09. There is a 9% chance this outcome will happen. 4 to 1 can be calculated as 1 divided by 4 plus 1 equals 0.20. There is a 20% chance that this outcome will happen. 2 to 1 can be calculated as 1 divided by 2 plus 1 equals 0.33. There is a 33% chance that this outcome will happen. And 1 to 1 can be calculated as 1 divided by 1 plus 1, which equals 0.5. There is a 50% chance that this outcome will happen. How to read betting odds. Now you know how to work out the probability of an event happening, you can use the betting odds to work out the potential returns if you were to bet on it. Fractional odds tell you the potential winnings in relation to your stake you place on the bet. For example, if you place a £1 bet on Manchester United to beat Tottenham at 4 to 1, it will pay you out £5 if successful. £4 profit plus your £1 stake. Let's go through some examples. 10 to 1 for every £1, £10 profit plus £1 stake. 7 to 2 for every £2 bet, £7 profit plus £2 stake back. 1 to 2 for every £2 bet, £1 profit plus £2 stake. Any odds in which the first number is bigger than the second are odds against, while any odds where the first number is smaller than the second number are odds on. Odds on events are considered more likely to happen than not by bookmakers, and vice versa for events that are odds against. How decimal odds work. When converted into decimals, the potential winnings include the stake, so it's just multiply the stake by the odds. Decimal odds are often used on the exchange, such as Betfair, as the user is in control of the odds rather than the bookmaker. Here's some examples of how to read decimal odds. So a decimal 11.00 odds equal £1 would return £11 including stake. 4.5 odds, a £1 bet would return £4.50 including stakes, and decimal odds of 1.5, a £1 bet would return £1.50 including stakes. The calculation for converting decimal odds into probability is as follows. 1 divided by the decimal odds times 100 equals probability. Using decimal odds as an example, 1 divided by 5.0 times 100 equals 20%. This means that the odds of 5.0 on the exchange thinks it has a 20% chance of winning. But remember that betting sites rarely bet to 100%, so they actually think the chances of selection winning are slightly less. How American odds work. Although fractional and decimal betting odds are the most common way a bookmaker showcases their prices on an event, it's still handy to know how the money line or the American version works. Let's return to the coin toss example, in which the odds for the heads and tails are both even money, or 1-to-1 fractionally, or 2.0 decimal, meaning that a £1 stake would return £2, £1 profit plus your £1 stake. In American or moneyline odds, the heads and tails outcome would be expressed as minus 100 or plus 100, and 100 is the key number, which we'll illustrate with another example. This time it's an American football match, and the American moneyline odds are as follows. New England Patriots are at minus 145, and Miami Dolphins are at plus 130. If you think the Miami Dolphins will win, the 1 plus 30 means for every £100 you stake on them, you receive £230 back, which is 130 plus your £100 stake. A £10 bet would mean you will win £23 and your stake a £10 and £13 profit, calculated as £10 divided by £100 times 130. The minus in front of the New England Patriot odds means that they are the favourites and the calculation is different. The minus 145 means that you will win £100 for every £145 you stake. So if you were to place a £10 bet, you would return £16.90, your £10 stake and your £6.90 profit, calculated as £10 divided by £145 times 100. In both examples for the £10 stake, the calculation is actual stake divided by American odds stake times American odds winning. Well done for completing this video. Now time to move on to the next. Thanks for watching, and together we're all trading the market.